Monday means it's time for another Maggie and the Moms, where we celebrate but never sugarcoat parenting. On our panel today, Stephanie Rodriguez-Neely. She is the founder of the social and events site, the Tampa Bay Moms Group. She is also a mother of five children,
yes.
2 biological children, 1 adopted, 1 foster, and 1 stepchild.
And we have the other fosters throughout, so 5 is the minimum, sometimes more.
So your house must be
loud.
Loud, but animated, I'm sure.
Yes, very, very, never dull.
Back with us again, Margaret Zakarian. She is a TV producer and a business owner, also a proud mom of 3 children, including 2 daughters, who co-wrote the book, The Family That Cooks Together. And just last week, we're in our studio cooking up something yummy. And Laura Byrne, mom of 2 boys and the editor of Tampa Bay Parenting Magazine, for which I am a proud contributor. Thanks, ladies, for joining us. Let's kick things off today with a new parenting book that's getting a lot of play. It's called Hunt, Gather, Parent. And this is an author who traveled around the world to see what ancient cultures can teach us about parenting. And she says that she observed these people raising independent children with no yelling or nagging or bribing. And the secret, she says, is team parenting, which is an acronym for togetherness is the first one, working together, everybody contributes. Encouragement, you want your kids to do the right thing, but never yell at them. Just encourage them in a positive, calm way. And then the next 2 go together, autonomy and minimal interference. Stop getting involved. You want your kids to think for themselves and do things for themselves, so let them. What was your take on this, Laura?
I mean, I think there's a lot that we can learn. I kind of want to pick up this book and read it. I know one of my challenges with my kids, and I think you had talked about how one of the kids got up and put something in the dishwasher. That would be amazing if my boys would just, I mean, they're just turned 8 and 5, so maybe we're not quite there yet. But I think there's a lot that we can learn by looking to our past, but we also have to understand that our lives today are very different. There are different demands on the family schedule, but I think that, you know, a lot of good lessons there. And just, I like the minimal interference too.
Yes.
That's something that I try to practice. I don't do it perfectly every time, but I know that our kids can only benefit if we try to let them problem solve on their own, even when they're very little.
We've talked about that before here too, totally agree. What about you, Margaret?
You know, I think you touched on something. I think when I was looking through those, my biggest impediment to that is we're always rushing. So like in our life today, we're just rushing, like tie your shoes. Okay, you didn't, I'll tie it, come on, get in the car.
Yes.
So if we really just slowed down and we gave our children the time to be able to do that, and I think a lot of times we're just mimicking our rushing. Like they want to get up from the table and head up to do their homework. I have to do my homework, I have to go. You know, if we just, you know, they were able to mimic us, just chilling out a little bit and taking some time.
Yes.
I think it would help.
How do you manage it with 5 kids minimal in the house?
I don't. I think that's the team sounds great, but kids are all so different. So what works well for one won't work for the other. I've got special needs kids, I've got hyperactive kids, I've got very mellow type A kids. You know, you can't follow any cookie cutter, but a lot of that is in that is stuff that we already know. It's the helicopter parenting or the free range parenting. It's just different back then. Back then they didn't have as many, you know, things to distract. We weren't as busy. Other cultures and countries don't have the same, you know, 2 parents working outside of the home. So it's very different. I think books like that are such great guides, so you can kind of take what works for you and make it your own, because there's such great information and good tips, but what works for her or you know, this person in this country, that's not going to work in my crazy house.
I think I agree. You got to do what works for you. For me, the biggest struggle of all of those is the autonomy part. You know, she suggests that you count the number of commands that you give your kids, you know, in a span of time, and I did that, and within just 5 minutes, I was appalled at the number of commands that I gave my kids. I'm like, you know, I'm going to try to stop, because I want them to feel independent, and I want them to be able to manage their own lives so that they can be productive adults. So I'm going to try. No promises.
Let us know.
All right. Topic number 2, later on in the show, we're going to be interviewing a mom who has an Instagram account that you guys should check out. It's called Anxious Moms. So I'll show you an example of her post. She says that her husband always tells her, you overthink things that I've never even thought about once. And she's like, yeah, you're welcome. That's a mom's job. At least I feel like it's my job. I'm a super over-worrier, over-analyzer, always putting pressure on myself. Do you do that, Laura?
I think that you can probably relate to this, Maggie. As a former news reporter, you know, working more than 15 years in the field, and I don't have to think up things, terrible things that can happen to myself or to my family or my kids, because I've seen it and I've covered it and I've talked to those families. And I do feel bad for my kids sometimes. Like they can't even ride their bikes down the street without me having a full-on like almost anxiety, because I'm like, what if a car comes, or they're backing out of the driveway too fast, or what if their tire is not up, you know. So sometimes I have to tell myself to just kind of step back, but at the same time, I've covered those stories. I've been there. I didn't just read about it. I was there.
I can't believe that you just said that, because that is the exact example that I was going to give. I feel like our profession's messed us up a little bit, but we have to remember our kids pay for it, because we interviewed those people. Those events made news because they were rare. So we got to let go, and that's what I'm working on. It's like, yeah, letting my daughter go to the mall with her friends alone. I got to stop thinking she's going to be abducted. I can't stop calling her. You just got to let them live their lives, because it's not fair. What about you, Margaret?
I had that mall incident lately, and another mom that I really trust, who is equally as sort of strict as I am, she was relaxed about it, so I thought, okay, if she is, I need to just chill out. But thinking back to when my children were younger, picture day gave me such serious anxiety. Because you're trying to get them ready, you know that you have to like send them off, and that's hours after they've left, and that's one of those crazy things, like just, it's fine, like they're gonna be fine, it's no problem, you know, they're 5 years old, and if their photos messed up, it's okay. Fine, not the end of the world.
You'll look at it and laugh later. What about you, Stephanie?
You know, every time we get a new kid in the house, I become less anxious, because I just mess up so much, and I just own it. And I think the kids appreciate and respect that, and it kind of humanizes me to them. You know, I don't worry about coordinating the paper plates with the tablecloth, because at the birthday party, they just want the toys and to be around their friends. I don't do, you know, birthday cards with sweet sentimental things, because those get thrown in the trash. I'm so much more laid back now, this like 21 years into parenting, than I was with my first. I was scared of everything. And now I'm like, you know, YOLO, it's fine, you know, as long as nobody's dying, you know, and we're making good memories, it's okay.
I'm gonna write down everything you just said and put it on my fridge. YOLO. Even if you're telling us we need to have more kids, I think.
No, I'm not always recommending
we're not on board with that one. All right, guys, it is time for the wheel. We love the wheel because we never know what topic is gonna come up. So let's do spin number 1, and let's see what comes up on our wheel of topics. Okay, the first one is a new one. I miss my. So tell me, Stephanie, something that you miss from your life before you had kids.
My stomach, does that count? I used to look really good in a 2-piece, and now it's like I'm still trying to embrace my mom body and wear one, but I'm self-conscious, so I'm trying to get over that, because I'm teaching my kids confidence. I'm working on it, but oh my gosh, I miss my flat stomach, my thin legs, so yeah.
Yes, well mine, again, moms reading each other's minds. Mine was gonna be my belly button. Before I had kids, I had like a smiley face, happy, like the emoji was like this, and now it's like the frown. I'm like, what happened to you, belly button? What made you so sad? So I get you. Margaret, what do you miss?
I think the one thing I miss the most is spontaneity. Right, like spontaneity with friends, or let's go grab a brunch or a dinner. You have to be more planned when you have more people to take care of, and so that spontaneity sometimes is not always available.
Without a doubt. Laura?
That's the exact same thing that I was going to say too. I can't just pick up and go whenever I want. It does take a lot of planning in advance, or a lot of stress when I have my kids with me. I guess the other thing is my bed. At this age, I thought for sure by the time he's 8, right, he's not going to be wanting to come every morning without fail. Both kids are, and I'll have nightmares like of something squishing me or kicking me, and it's because I have a kid's, you know, elbow in my kidneys, and so I miss my bed to myself.
Well, you got a couple of years, so.
But the belly button thing's funny, because I just had this conversation with a friend last night. We miss our belly buttons. We were talking about that.
Yeah, it's all right. It was for a good cause
for
that
a
we
good
gave
cause.
them up.
Exactly.
All right, spin number 2. And the next topic we will discuss today is, this one's a good one. We all love it. We've done it before. Mom hacks. What's yours?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know if it's a hack. It's kind of a lie.
Okay.
I tell my kids that the ice cream man puts the music on to let them know not to come out of the house because he's out of ice cream.
That's so mean, but genius.
My 12-year-old honestly believed that until like a week ago.
Oh my gosh.
And like, she's so smart. She's gifted. And when I told her that, she was just shook, like mouth on the floor, like, wait a minute, my whole life has been a lie. So yeah, I don't know if it's a hack, but it works. So.
What about Santa or the Easter Bunny? Did she?
She knows everything that the ice cream thing has endured.
Love it.
That's great.
Margaret, what's yours?
The night before, we try to set the table for breakfast the next day. So putting out everything you need for that meal in the morning ahead of time, other than the food, of course, really saves time. And I feel like when everyone comes downstairs, they like just, compress for a minute and eat. And
I'm
it's
amazed
great.
that you guys eat breakfast together. Like, that's
We
really
try.
impressive.
We try.
Yeah,
We
that's
try.
awesome.
And that's a great way to fight what you were talking about earlier, the rushing in the
Yes.
morning. So awesome one.
Yes.
Laura?
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to use that one tomorrow for sure. I love that. Mine is I try to double up recipes when I'm making dinner so I can pop it in the freezer. We're very busy. We have a lot going on, especially pre-COVID. I was much better about it. During, now I've kind of fallen off the wagon a bit, but like if I'm making meatballs, I'll double up the recipe and throw the other batch in the freezer so I have it because it's a quick and easy thing I can make, or mini meatloaves, or I'm just trying to find those things that I can make 2 of so we can have something on those nights when I just can't
Yeah.
with
Okay.
dinner that night.
We all have those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
a
they can only
great
eat chicken
suggestion.
nuggets that are shaped like dinosaurs. I mean, it's organic,
many
right?
times,
So
yeah.
I justify it that way.
So mine, real quickly, is from my previous TV job where we had a wardrobe department, and so when I would wear clothes, just that one time on the studio, he would, the guy who worked there would say, James, he'd say, we don't want to dry clean your clothes unnecessarily. If you've just worn something for a short time, here's a trick: you put some vodka, cheap vodka, don't go using your good stuff, in a little spray bottle, and you just spray the outfit, any material with a little vodka. It removes all odors. So if it smells like the outside or anything,
Oh,
wow.
and so you can wear something more than once. There you go. Ladies,
really
as
good.
always, appreciate your wisdom, especially yours
I
with
know.
5 children.
Everybody needs that hot mess mom. So I think that's me.
We're all there. Thank you so much, ladies. Daytime will be right back. Don't go away.